you have something where you could take this quote and send it, or put an indicator on the Adilas site that says, "Oh, somebody put up a quote," I'd get back to them and see if they want to do the sale right over the phone. I guess you just wait to get the e-com.
Sure. No. Like, if you wanted to, like, depends on your business. Are you trying to just get the person to, like, submit the order and then you'll fill it and then they'll come pick it up? Or are you trying to just get a quote? Or are you trying to be like, sweet, give me your credit card information, let's do it. Like, if you want to see, like,
you just get the merchant account and then you just start rolling.
If you have the merchant account, I can show you. We can go back into the main Adilas from the universe level and say, okay, let's add real checkout. Okay, so basically what that does is all of a sudden it takes it clear to the next level. Yep. So you basically, instead of doing this cart, okay, you're still creating a cart. You're shopping some of your things, but then it says, okay, what's your customer information? Are you returning, yes or no? Oh, by the way, what's your shipping information? If it's the same, just click this little button. It's not a big deal. If it's different, click here, because I'm going to take you to another step. You're going to add shipping information. And virtually what we're doing is we're adding in that sub-contact or under that customer. And it's like, okay, now the last thing is payment information. What's your credit card? Here's what your invoice looks like. Let's see what it looks like. Do you want to see what it would look like kind of up to that level?
Sure, and then while it's on my mind,
yep.
What about returns?
Okay,
great. That whole thing like, oh, I didn't need these 6,000 tennis balls, I only needed 2,500.
Okay, so in a simple answer, figure out what's going on. There is not a blanket answer for that, because is it a straight return? Is it a trade? Is it a credit? Oh my goodness, it opens up a ball of wax. Think negative invoice, okay? So say, for instance, you got 2,000 of those 4,000 tennis balls back, and they're good, and you're going to put them back on your shelf. You basically go like this. I've got negative 2,000 tennis balls. Go. It's going to reverse the price, the tax, everything out, and then you're going to be like, okay, cool. Looks like I owe you this much. And then if you have expenses, you're going to go in and you're going to create that person a check and say, here we go. Here's your return, and you just got paid. Like all sorts of crazy things.
Your inventory bumps back up too.
Oh yeah. Yep. Your inventory just went back up. Okay. So I would say think negative invoice, but be careful. It's not a blanket statement, because say you got something back and it's totally unusable anymore, or et cetera, et cetera. Like you have to take it stage by stage, but it's basically, I would say, think negative invoice. Okay. Great questions. The other thing that I wanted to show you, I know we were kind of heading towards actually showing you a real invoice. I wanted to show you that you have major control when you get to e-commerce as far as like which items you want to show. Let's go like this for just a minute. Let's go parts, home, and I'm actually going to do a quick little search on this thing and get everything that we have under Sweet Medicine Drums. Dan, let's pretend like you didn't want to show everything on here, or you wanted to kind of manipulate some prices for the web. Okay? If you have the correct setting, this is kind of cool, just for e-commerce. Watch this. So this 10-inch hand drum right here, if we go to edit and I have the settings, watch this right here. All of a sudden it opened up some new options. Do you really want to show this on the web? Okay? No, I don't. Okay, or whatever. Like you can literally, what if I wanted to actually do a special web price for this particular one for the web? So instead of $200, which is standard retail, I will sell it for $1.85. Okay? Edit. Okay, so when it's up happening is behind the scenes, it actually is starting to record that $1.85, if I sell it out of the system, it's going to be $200, okay? But if I sell it from e-commerce, it's going to be $1.85. So watch this. If we come back over here and say I just did a search right here, and I'm going to go grab drums. Okay, so all of a sudden, I'm starting to play with pricing differences, okay? You can start, it's smoke and mirrors, okay? Price is very variable, but you can make it look as though you wanted to kind of tell the person, hey, we got special web pricing on this thing, you know, like, and you can kind of tweak the settings on here, but they're like, oh yeah, sweet, I want one of those, and it's going to come in at the $1.85. Okay, I just wanted to kind of show you that you could literally manipulate this. You can also go to the other level where you're like hide things. So if I went back to continue shopping, we currently have 2 drums. This medicine drum, let's pretend that we did not want that one to ever show up. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go, what do I have under med? Perfect. Edit that thing. I'm going to come down and I'm going to say, no, 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 no. Don't show online, okay? Don't show it online. So if I come back here, I switch. I'm going kind of back and forth, if you will, okay? I'm going to just hit refresh on this page. Okay, it technically still exists in the system, but you just told the system, no, 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 don't show that. So like, e-commerce is a whole different little thing, and so instead of saying, hey, I'm brand new to Adilas, let me eat the monkey, and let me, do e-commerce for business. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, it's available, and we can help you out here, but let's make sure we're ready for this, because it really is a new, it's virtually like having another storefront, okay? It really is. You guys want to see an invoice through e-commerce?
Yeah.
Okay. This one is, I am still kind of working on some of these settings, but I will at least show you kind of where we're at on this process. So right here, this is Adilas.biz shop. So this is technically the outside, the little piece that I'm building. I'm going to go back. I have to return. I have to switch out of the Denver playing ground and go back to the universe level at Adilas. So I'm going to hit view cart, and I'm going to just say, hey, I'm just going to clear this. No big deal. I wasn't really worried about that. Switch my world or my corporation to Adilas. Go select it. I eventually need to get to my classic homepage. I'm kind of bouncing here, but this is how I would tweak the settings. I'm going to go to my corporation homepage, go get it, go to the play sites, go find Denver, go to the admin settings, come down below. Do we want to still allow them to quote, or we just want them to check out full? Or do we want both options?
It's just a choice button.
Yeah, literally.
You can both.
Okay, great. So we're going to say, yes, I do want to allow e-commerce. As soon as I do this, there's some validation that basically says, okay, if you say that, no problem. I've got to make sure that this is in. I've got to make sure that this is in. I've got to make sure that I can even set a merchant account, okay? I actually already have one because we've been playing. So we're going to kind of go to this level, and we're going to say, save those settings, okay? So technically, this is still in the universe level. This is Adilas universe level. I just changed some settings. And so now if I go back to this shopping cart that's outside of the secured environment, here's the difference. Watch this. See how it says Adilas.biz/shop? Right here, Adilas.biz top secret secure. Like I'm deep. I'm pretty deep into the protected environment. Okay? So that's kind of the difference. So watch this. Let's say, yes, Dan, I definitely want, oh, I've already got one in my cart. Okay? Let's just go check out my cart. Okay, as soon as I come back here, because I have a new setting, guess what? The old one used to not even have this start checkout. It just had update cart, start quote. But now I have, oh yeah, I am going to get, yep, please be careful. Whatever. They can write whatever notes they want them to. Start that checkout. Yeah, do it. Okay, hey, are you still Joe Public? Actually, yes or no. Like, basically, you can sign in or add yourself. Let's just pretend that we're still Joe Public. Continue with that cart. So it's saying, hey, let's just take a look. Here's what I've got right now. You're Joe Public. I've got you with one 10-inch drum for $1.85. Looks like $9 in tax, okay? Oh, here's my notes. Please be careful. Okay, let's go to shipping. Okay, so this is the next step in e-commerce. This is a little bit more expanded because it's not to that level. So now we say, hey, here's your billing information, and I can edit that if I need to, which literally actually physically edits it inside of Adilas. So just so you can see the page, it's pretty simple. It's basically like, boom, okay, your basic information. It's very, very basic. Now, do I want to use the billing address for shipping, or do I want to add a new shipping address? What do you guys want me to do?
Use the billing address.
Okay, piece of cake. Literally, I leave that thing checked and I say continue right here, okay? So at this point, it says, okay, cool, guess what? We're now into payment ready. Like, you're going to be simply walking the person through, and as soon as they submit this piece right here, it'll basically create the invoice.
Can we do the view source and do the thing on this too, or do you don't have
No. There's no swiping ability. There's, like, if you were to do view source here, we'll just take a look.
That's right.
Basically, it says you may need to scroll down to see some code. It just shows the whole normal code type of stuff. Okay. There is not any fictitious stuff here. Okay. So basically, what you would do is you would go through this, and then all of a sudden, you would create the actual invoice. Now, I need to tell you right now that this is actually currently where I'm working at. I had scout camp last week, and so I was out for an entire week. But this is Does that kind of make sense where that process is at? Let's go like this. Let's clear this cart. We're going to walk through this again, and I'm even going to log out as Joe Public so you can kind of see the whole thing, okay? So I'm in the cart. I'm going to clear it. I'm going to actually go to my account. I'm going to sign out, so I am not in this Joe Public at all. Back to the basic little piece. I just landed here because they told me to go to this cool website. They had a link, and I landed right here, okay? Or I could even have a link that shows me directly right to my next little level, okay? So I currently have nothing. No cart, no nothing. I'm not signed in. Nothing's going on. If I click my account, it'll be like, okay, please sign in. Like, I'm not signed in right now. Nothing's available. So say I want to do drums. You'll notice it updated because we told one to hide. I click on drums. Oh, yeah, buck 85. Yeah. I hope Dan has 3 of those. Let's add them. Okay. We're going to add this right here. If I wanted to add some notes, I could. And I can literally go right here. Start the checkout. Okay. Hey, am I new or do I remember who I was? Oh, no problem. This is where I can't remember. Was it tested MSN? And 8 for the, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat.
5554.
Was it?
I think so.
85544, like that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try it. If it can't find it, it'll be like, eh. I'm sorry, I can't find a match. Sweet, sweet. Nice, thank you. That's hilarious.
Where are you, John?
That's hilarious. Okay, so anyway, pretend that I really remembered my zip, okay? So basically, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so basically I just logged in. I'm Joe Public. Now look at this. We're just going to walk through these simple little steps. Look at the only button I have. Continue to shipping. Like, it should just lead them gently through this process. Continue to shipping. Okay, am I going to use the same Joe Public this, or do I want to add a new one? If I don't want to, it's literally just like continue. If I wanted to add a new one, yes, go ahead, Dan.
I have one quick question.
Yes.
Do you think we need a button here that says in-store pickup?
Okay, so if it's full e-commerce, I would recommend that you do an order. Call everything an order, and then you're still getting all your stuff, but it never actually comes to the payment thing because you want the person to physically get there, give them stuff, and then collect. Okay, that's what I would recommend. But you could easily do this. Why don't we go right here? Let's go view cart. Like, we're not going to hurt anything. I will pick it up, okay? And then we'll say start that checkout. Yes, I'm still Joe Public. Keep going. Continue to shipping. Yep, same thing. Like, I'm not really even worried about it. Continue. Boom, let's pay for it. Okay? So, like, you should be able to walk right through that process, and it should be able to take you right in. But once again, I just wanted to show you that e-commerce is a whole new little animal.
And you didn't add the shipping costs back on your...
Okay, if I wanted to, piece of cake. Do you guys want to see how that flows through?
You just, at this point, it's just one.
Correct. So I could add a blanket, or I could do whatever I need. Like, the shipping needs to be tweaked, but what we need to do is actually to connect it clear out to USPS, and FedEx, and UPS. Those are what's called external web services. And so at this point, for round 1 of e-commerce, we're going to say it's either nothing, free, or a blanket, $25 or $5 or something like that. Or if you just have them order it, you go, hey, I got your order. That's awesome. Shipping will end up being this, and do you want to pay for that right now? And then you could technically add that thing to the cart, add your shipping, get their payment, and like you're on the phone, but you just changed it. You got an outside feed, and then you're saying, oh sweet, I just made the whole deal. It's all done. Like there's a bunch of different ways of e-commerce. Is it full on, like I'm ordering from Amazon and it's going to ship to me, or is it I'm just going to order it and then I'm going to go pick it up, or is it hey, I'm just curious. What would you charge me for this? Like, there's different levels of the e-commerce. Okay? Cool.
Yeah, the only reason I brought up we'll pick it up in the store is, I mean, like Best Buy is the one that comes to mind, or Walmart. You can actually buy the item, and then you just walk in the store and you go over and pick it up. You don't have to stand in checkout lines. And in the case of like the marijuana things, where I know they're not going to be able to ship it, if they could buy it online, where maybe they have their credit card, one of the things that Steve pointed out the other day when we were at one of the places is that things kind of get bottlenecked out there in that lobby area because people are doing their paperwork and everything. So if there's a way to streamline it so that these guys could, am I saying it right, Steve? So somebody could actually pay for it, and then they walk in with their receipt and say, hey, this is what I got, and boom, the guy takes it back there, fills the order, and they're out of there. They're not going to stay around.
So Dan, check this out.
Will call.
What if I said something like this? We're building a skeleton e-commerce system that's out of the box. You take it kind of as it is, and you can still tweak it a lot of different ways, like some settings and stuff. What if I said that's the virtual free version that kind of comes with the Atlas, the boxed version?
Yeah.
You want something custom? No problem. We're going to have you talk to Joe over here. He happens to be a knockout coder, and he will hook you up. And so you basically are using the same pieces, and you're virtually riding on top of this stuff. So all of a sudden you have this super cool custom look and feel. You have nice big old fat buttons. Yep, want it? Yep, I do want will call. And in the background, it's like, okay, cool. Just flag this with an extra note like that. Piece of cake, piece of cake. But basically, we have to kind of get it out there just to kind of start the ball rolling. Okay. Awesome. Any other questions, Shannon?
Yeah, John had a question.
Yes.
He asked if, can you set it up to accept PayPal?
Okay, that's a wonderful idea that is actually already noted as well. And PayPal is kind of interesting because you can actually do multiple things with PayPal. Is it physically I have a merchant account with PayPal, or is it I just want to say, hey, cool, you can use PayPal and I'll automatically route you over there. You log in and then you send me money through this email address. Like PayPal has multiple variations that it can do. So the answer is coming, but not right this second, okay? But that is a great thing. So e-commerce, we have a lot of pieces of it done. But basically, some of the things that still need to be done, PayPal integration, we know that that's a potential thing. Being able to allow people to really customize this thing so that you can rock and roll it. And then two, some of the custom shipping options as far as how that goes. So that's where things are going and where they're at. So that's kind of the small little e-commerce demo. Any questions on that? It should be pretty simple as far as like how things work and whatnot. Like even if I went back one and I wanted to actually do some shipping, I was like, oh, you know what? Technically, I really do want to add a new shipping address. It's this easy. You add your shipping info, you add it, and all of a sudden it'll be boom. It adds it in as a second little piece. You want to see me do that real quick? So this was Joe Public stuff. And say I'm still going to send it to Joe Public. But I want to send this one to 777 South B Street. And that's going to be in Aurora. Is that 2 A's?
A-U-R-O-R.
I'll choose a different one. How about I choose Denver? I'm not a very good speller either, okay?
That's why I love spell check.
Okay, so say I'm going to do this. I have a bunch of optional fields. And, you know, if I wanted to, I could do this. I'll add this as my shipping info. So check this out. Here's my main client info. Here's my ship to info. It keeps it really tight, like in this e-commerce level, because I don't really want them to be able to do a whole lot. But technically what I did, if I were to go into the physical site, into Joe Public, I should also see a ship to info underneath Joe Public that actually shows his stuff, which later on, the next time he goes to sign in, he'll actually already have that ship to address there, and he can say, yep, I want to use that one, or yes or no. So anyway, I know we've kind of been all over the board on that one, but that's kind of the little, we have never actually ever shown anybody a demo of the e-commerce pieces. They are that new inside of Atlas.
Where can we find the e-commerce activity we just did back into our
Great.
client?
Okay, so what we're going to do, and this is also future development, but basically every single one that we're doing, we're automatically adding these little hidden notes behind the scenes, kind of, hey, this one came from e-commerce, hey, this was an e-commerce type thing. What we're going to do is we're actually going to put it on the history homepage. Hey, what are my new e-commerce sales? Or even from the main link, if somebody has the permission to kind of just manage web sales, they'll click on it and it'll virtually say, oh, new quotes, new invoices, new customers. Like, it'll virtually say everything that happened from the web in one spot. That's what the plan is. Russell.
Under history homepage.
Correct. Under history homepage. It's actually already showing up right now. It'll show, hey, wow, I've got this many quotes, but they're all kind of muddled in with all the rest of the quotes. All we'll do is it's literally what's called SQL. It's a query language. We'll query the database and say, not only do I want just the quotes for today, but I also want the ones that were flagged from the web. And then all of a sudden you click on them, it'll do a quick drill down, and you'll see just your new ones that you've done and whether they've been actually processed or picked up or whatever. So there's once again, as soon as you start going into some of these avenues, it just opens up more and more and more and more doors. And so people keep saying, why don't you guys simplify? Why don't you guys simplify? But it's like, like we are trying, but you have to realize that how many different businesses do it and how many different ways, and we're trying to make it as a dynamic tool. So that's where we're at. Russell?
I was going to ask if eventually, I've just heard of other people really liking this, that you can track how many people have come onto your website. So even if they don't buy, if you track, and then you can say, oh, I had 100 people come to the website, 6 of them bought something.
Okay, so correct. Once again, it starts leaving the business area and actually almost getting into the marketing area where you're actually talking analytics. Okay, so technically the site is actually recording some of that stuff, but as it's needed, we will develop some of those pieces as well. So like, it just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. Like, but it's cool because it's all kind of part of business. It really is. So that's a wonderful question. It's called analytics and site analytics. And so definitely, it's very important. People want to know, am I closing on this? You'll be able to tell because you're actually getting deals and stuff like this, but it'd be really fun to be able to see what is my closure rate, what is my this. We have other things that are in the future as well, as far as promotion codes, and even like, say you have a banner on Dan's site, but it's actually connecting to your e-commerce site, but you wanted to track and give him a referral fee. Okay, like, it can get deep. That's marketing. Okay, you put a banner on Dan's site, somebody did a click-through, landed on your site, bought 2 of your flutes, and then eventually you need to kick a kickback back to Dan. Okay, marketing. That's all kind of like promotion codes and marketing and all that kind of stuff. It's cool. It's really cool, but it takes a little bit of time to develop that. So anyway, I'll say mercy. We're not all the way done yet, but if you can see what we've already done inside of Adilas, and we're just trying to simplify that and kind of make it really, really generic on the outside, it'll give you an idea of where it's going. So we've been doing full e-commerce internally inside of Adilas for years and years to crazy levels. You want to sell a jet fighter plane with this and this and this and collect super shipping for the government. Like, we can do all kinds of stuff. You want to do recipes and builds and my cart favorites. All of that is built into the internal e-commerce type section inside of Adilas. This is very simplistic on this outside end right here, but it's gonna be pretty cool. So anyway, we've never demoed this before, so this is, you guys just did the trial run right there. Yeah, so that's where we're at.